want to grow as a grower? Are you tired of being put to sleep by your educational growcasts? Are you tired of hearing about products you don't fucking want and can't afford? Are you tired of being told how you should grow? Hi, I'm Johnny Apple, and joining me is everyone's favorite amphibian, the Reverend Pirate Frog. Join us as we sift through the bullshit on the internet and try to get better as growers. This is Your Average Grow.
Hey, dude.
Hey, man, what's up?
I got a special surprise for you, dude. I am sick and fucking tired of the New York representation that we constantly have on this show. So I am bringing it to the better coast, the more superior coast, with California friend Charles Budkowski. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Oh, man.
Chuck, what's up, man?
I'm honored.
Oh, don't say that. Just when you got here.
He must not listen to all of them.
I'm among the average now.
You've always been among the average. For those who don't know, he's been a member of our Discord from pretty much the beginning. He started making fun of us with everyone else before we even did the podcast. So he's a good friend. And at one point, he won me a bottle of SLF.
Hey, you never
Right
know in the future.
Yeah, everybody they seem to be winning with. You're just a good luck charm, really. That's what we figured.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Who is
Dude, your
it now?
Instagram
Winner?
feed, your feed must be full of like giveaway opportunities.
Yeah, it's mostly giveaway opportunities. Yeah, it's
I thought maybe giveaway opportunity
jokes.
and memes.
yeah, and like every 3 weeks, I'll put in like a grow photograph.
Well, you need to take more because that Vanilla Fizz in our Night Owl Grow Along is kicking ass right now, and she is just beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's one of the first plants I've just like totally left alone, except for the leaf tucking there.
Well, you had a very successful round last round too, but I do remember one of your comments was, "I wish I didn't top." So I only bring that up to rub it in Howling's face, you know.
For sure, that's madness.
Well, before we get into too much of the fucking behind the scenes secrets that people probably don't understand, let's tell us about yourself, man. What got you into growing? What got you into consuming cannabis? What led you to this path here with the
what horrible
the
life decisions
God's
did you make to end up on fucking Yag?
I've been consuming cannabis probably since I was about 13. Just kind of was in that crowd, I guess. And just did that throughout high school. And then I went into the Marines for a while, and they kind of frown upon that. So I
a little bit
smoked a single bowl for like 4 years. And then after that, I kind of like eased back into it. Those were the days I was like, I remember splitting an eighth with my cousin, and that lasted me like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, the good old days, dude.
And I'd be like, "Hey man, do you want to split an eighth?" And he'd be like, you could just get like your own eighth or something." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm never gonna smoke that much. Like that's too much for me." It's kind of ridiculous.
And now you smoke that this afternoon.
He's currently doing
yeah.
it. I always hate that too, because you think fondly. Like I remember all my friends, we'd pool fives, be like, "All right, let's go get $20 worth and split that 4 ways." And now you're just like, I wish I long for the days that it was that little that would get me going, man.
Exactly. Unfortunately, I guess I do have kind of a high tolerance.
Wow, you just need the medication. That's the problem. When you use it medically, you don't really get tea breaks.
That's true.
So talk to us about how you build your stash. You grow completely. I think you're part of like a veterans program you got there. Talk a little bit about that.
The if you're talking about that free veterans giveaway, that kind of it kind of fizzled out. I think at least locally, it was kind of like a lot of work for the dispensaries. Everything still had to go through the dispensaries, and they still had to like ring it all up and basically do all that for free. And I guess kind of think they were using it as like a tax write-off, but it might have become a little more work than they were expecting.
I got it.
It stopped being the lucrative charity that it was supposed to be.
And it was cool while it lasted.
They're finding more money sending it to these newly legal states.
We started selling it to all the guys out back for cheaper than we're giving it to you veterans. But thanks for serving.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
But you made out like a bandit a few times, so
I made out like a bandit a few times. I can't hate, and they still help people out in just like it's like 3 hours away from me, a few different drops. It's just too far.
Yeah. Oh well, all that means is you got to increase your output, right?
Right. So like Johnny was saying, I can almost like satisfy like my entire consumption with my grow, but I don't like during the summertime. I can't really grow in the summer anymore. It's just too hot and it's kind of too expensive. Like I'm just running the AC all the time, and I can just buy like an ounce for like, anywhere from like $100 to $160. So I'd rather just do that than push it.
Air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, it starts, especially in California with like peak hours and all that bullshit. It just starts quadrupling, and you're like, oh, wow, I've paid a lot of money for this.
Yeah, like the guy on that other show says that juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Yeah, whoever that dude is. But it is very true. But I know we've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about in your grow, but part of the reason you do something cool is you do CMH lights in the winter, right?
Right.
To just
that's definitely come in handy. I haven't had to use any kind of otherwise heat sources.
Yeah, and that's a good way to keep the cost down with electric. You don't need to run.
How big are your swings though when that shuts off during off period?
Oh.
Yeah, I was just actually looking at that like yesterday, especially with the cold. It's been like 18, almost 20 degrees a couple times with the swing. Goes to like 82 to 62 basically at the worst.
That's a pretty.
So I don't know. I just started. I reduced my nighttime to just 1 hour during the day. I'm not really sure if that's even enough time for the plant to like go to sleep correctly and wake up correctly, but I feel like it just needs something.
Yeah, I mean, especially because like I would kill for 82 right now in my tent because we've been experiencing that storm, and I think yesterday the hottest it got was 72 with the light on. I'm like, God damn it! Like, so it is. Yeah, it's definitely smart thinking.
And it's out in the garage. I heard it on some other show, but luckily my friend had a hand-me-down, so it was kind of a no initial startup cost. So I just had to go with it and try it out.
Yeah,
the light is a little intense though for like seedlings. So you run into that problem, like you need that heat right in the beginning part of it, but it's like you can't dial it down, so you kind of have to like kind of stick them in like the corners is your best bet.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Low and in the corners as far away as you can get it, but still warm.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun to play with for sure, but it was ingenious. But yeah, how'd you get started? I jumped a little bit ahead, but it's cool. I think you're one of the few still doing it. That it's always cool to see.
Yeah, I guess I really started just in the summer of 2021. I found I found a seed in some dispensary cannabis. It was like Venom OG. And I was like, I'm just going to, and we had started a garden. We had like some raised beds we had started. So I'm just going to throw this right out here and just for fun, see what happens. And it actually started growing pretty nicely. So I was just kind of kept going with that. And we have like these, like a farmer's market or like a sesh type thing where everyone comes around and sells their cannabis and different edibles and salves and things like that. And some guys actually have.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. It's a little sketchy
really
sometimes.
Cool.
Like they have been busted and the neighborhoods aren't the best. So it's an experience for sure. But some guys had clones, so I grabbed some like $10 clones from them too. Everything's like super good priced, I guess.
Right on. Do you remember what the clones were?
Dude, it's so funny. I totally don't, and I didn't even know by the time I got home. It was some crazy cross, and it was just the the letters for it. It was like F92ZB crossed by Cam 38.5. So I was like, oh, I'll figure that out when I get home. I was kind of nervous, so I just got home with it. I'm like, what the fuck?
One of the most like,
let's just call it R2D2 from here on out.
R2D2.
I get so frustrated with that when you'll get packs from friends and stuff, and it'll be like all of, like you said, just letters cross, and then they'll be like, yeah, I told you. Like, you expect me to fucking remember what any of that was? Like, I don't know your side hand, your shorthand. But yeah, sorry.
No, that's cool. So, we have a lot of guys in our Discord that really like do all like the studying, and they become experts at growing before they even like purchase a bean and everything. That totally wasn't me. I started like growing, and then
chaos.
I'm like, oh, I think I gotta feed this or something. Like I read about that, I think. So, I did grow one plant in like 2004, and it was with a compact fluorescent, and it was probably looked like my strawberry milk and cookies that I have going right now. It was really bad, and I fed it Super Thrive. You guys ever heard of Super Thrive?
No.
I've heard of it.
It just comes in a little bottle. I think it was like the 1980s like do-it-all fertilizer. Like,
yeah, like it was some sort of fucking bougie Miracle Grow fucking experiment.
Yeah, I think you could still buy it too, which is kind of funny. But anyway, so I was like, I used that before, and I'm like, I'm gonna get something better. So I found like who makes that tiger's blood? I think it's like General Hydroponics or something.
It might be General Hydro. Oh no, it's it's Florifox.
Okay.
Flora Farms or whatever the fuck that.
Fox Farms?
Fox Farms.
Anyway, I totally didn't use it totally correctly because it's supposed to be like a 3-part. I just bought the 1 part, and then the plant started freaking out. So I had to learn about pH. It's kind of cool. Like everything I'd learn about, like kind of like reactively, I guess. So I had to learn about pH. Went out and got a pH pen, and then the caterpillars started coming. So I had to learn about IPM and like.
Wait, was this outdoors? You're doing all this?
Oh yeah. This is all outdoors.
This is even better.
Yeah,
the best, man. Just chuck and see.
Fucking A. So what time of year was this even? Was this like, okay, this is springtime, we've got tomatoes
it was
starting?
like summer. It was summer 2001. So somehow they survived the heat and some of the bugs. I found out about the bud rot and stuff like through miracles. I was like, I would notice like this one beautiful bud just like fell apart. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is this?
And then there's like a worm in it. I'm like, what the hell? So that might have been when I started like going online and like trying to figure out like different, just how to grow cannabis, correctly outside. So I learned about Monterey BT. Eventually got the harvest, and I did actually my research about trying to dry correctly. So I bought a tiny little tent. It's like 3-foot tall tent and the AC Infinity exhaust system. And I dried my stuff and everything was pretty cool there. And then my girlfriend, she was like, dang, you got all this stuff now. You got the exhaust fan, you got a tent. I guess you're going to start like growing indoors now, huh? And I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm buying a light, and then I had to buy a bigger tent, and then pretty much here we are, I guess.
Hell yeah, man. A bunch of terrible decisions led you here. It is a common thing we hear when we're interviewing people at YAG. It's generally the lowest point of their lives. But no, you have expanded and you keep kind of changing the way you grow little bits and improving, and it's really fun. Is this your first grow with SIPs as well? Sub irrigated planters?
Yes, this is definitely my first attempt with the SIP. Pretty excited about that.
How you finding it?
Well, it was a rough start with I don't want to take full blame with what happened with the strawberry milk and cookies in there, because it kind of just came out weird. So, who knows what happened, but it came out weird, and it never was going to thrive, excuse me. So I basically pulled it out, and then I crudely dumped in the Forgetful Wedding in there.
Yeah.
And it actually it's finally taken off, and it's looking pretty exciting in there.
She'll get big too, especially in those SIPs, man.
Yeah,
it's exactly like the one I grew.
I wanted to kind of start off slow, so I filled up the reservoir with 1 gallon the first time, even though I know it can take 2. And then she was due for a feeding, so I gave her a tea, like a water in some Roots Organic Bloom and some sea kelp.
Yeah, I love them, man. It's really made everything so much easier.
Are you like running this sort of Synganic style?
I was kind of trying to go organic, but then I just got that sea kelp. I'm not really sure if that's like totally organic. What else might be in it? I know it's not like OMRI listed.
But you mentioned you put some bloom. You put some bloom down the tube, right?
No, I did that. Like I watered that in.
Okay.
But it's Roots Organic. It's like a dry amendment that you can like water in, basically.
Oh, like their terp tea.
Yeah. They have terp tea, they have grow, and they have bloom.
Okay. All right.
So I've kind of been using that. I like the dry organics, I think, myself.
It's similar to the Cold War organics too, where it's like is it chelated? I can't remember, but you can either top dress with it or mix it in. It's still all organic. It's just
right
in powder form. Right. You can supplement your feed with it if you want.
Okay, I'm tracking.
Yeah.
So you watered that in before you put water down the tube.
I actually did it after, but it was after the reservoir was dry. I did a top dress.
Okay.
So I'll have to do a couple of top dresses throughout its life.
What are you using to judge that on? Based on time, based on size of the plant, based on how big your top dressing was, feeder roots? Have you made a choice yet?
It's supposed to be weekly. It's like a weekly thing on their feed chart. So it's I haven't really figured it out exactly, because I think the 1 gallon in the reservoir was lasting me a little bit longer, maybe like 4 days, because it's still kind of small. So I'm not sure. Would you guys like to try top dressing in a SIP?
Yeah, I think if you're trying to feed through water down the tube, you're not going to get the benefits you see, because I don't think you're going to maintain in solution the entire time. I think what's going to happen is it's going to fall out of solution and sit in the bottom of your reservoir and just be dry. So the roots are going to go down there, but they're going down there for water. I don't think you're going to get as beneficial as you would from watering that in from the top. I think with the top dressing and then putting the plastic cover over it and just water down the tube only, you're going to see a better advantage using a SIP that way.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'll switch over to that, because I've only done that the first time, and I just thought it didn't really feel like I was using the device correctly.
When I like top dress too, because it gives me a excuse to, like, if I notice the reservoir is getting low and I'm going to have to fill it, I can be like, I'll top dress tomorrow, so I can let it go dry and kind of push it off a day. But with the top dress with a mulch or the cover, it just kicks ass, man. It goes through that so quick, and you can really see the plant go after it.
Yeah, you use feeder roots. That's what I do every time. I use feeder roots, and when I'm starting to see a shit ton of feeder roots, it's like, oh, okay, now it's time for a top dressing. So you just feed the roots and let the plant tell you it's ready. You almost have to start with it, though. You have to start with a feeder root system with it. So, like, if this is your first round, I think with an earth box, I would go at like week 3. And so at like 21 days, just as I'm putting the cover on kind of deal, I would do a light top dressing then and let the feeder roots go after that. And when I see that starting to get 8, that's when I would read and just do another top dressing. Otherwise, like with autoflowers, half the time I don't even get to the point where I see feeder roots. Like in a 7-gallon pot, because that's 7 gallons worth of soil if you didn't even top it in a normal size earth box.
Yeah.
That's a lot of soil for most size autoflowers I've ever grown. I know you can do better, but if people growing autoflowers, you're not probably going to fucking need too much of a top dressing their first time in an earth box with a fresh soil.
No, with a fresh soil, you
the soil I use though. It's the soil I got was the I think it was Roots Organic also that didn't have like any amendments in it.
Mm-hmm. So if you're going that route, immediately do that top dressing because they're going to be looking for food quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I'll do that. And I got a whole bunch. I have like a pretty big mound in there because I had it originally in the in an air pot, and then I transferred it into the city picker, which was a little crazy, but it like sticks up like 4 or 5 inches above the edge. So
no, that's perfect. I know that Alabrije does that when he's doing a lot of testers and shit in his earth box. He puts several of the small pots on tops, and he rocks that, man. The Alabrije box of flavor box. Fuck, I'm fucking stoned. I can't talk tonight. The Alabrije box of flavors.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've definitely seen it done. But yeah, usually when you're top dressing for the first round, like you're top dressing for the future. So hopefully whatever soil you put in there can get you to 15 days on an autoflower, right? If it doesn't, then like you're using something like that's sterile potting soil or something. But you still want to put it there so that it breaks down so that you can replant.
You know what?
Sure I something that's not hot like I did.
I do actually have a good amount of Fox Farms Ocean Forest all the way around that initial root ball or whatever. So that might provide.
That's a lot of soil, and I know Ocean Forest is pretty good and they're pretty rich. So
yeah, okay.
Well balanced,
I'm not in as much trouble as I was thinking for a second.
No, I would think I think you're good. Yeah, I would think that because you're just starting, especially with that Frogheadful, you're just starting to where she starts bushing out, and then she'll bush out, and then she'll put growth on. And I think you've got plenty of soil to get her to that stage for sure. I hit her with a pretty big top dress when she was going into flower. But you probably won't have to, but you can just to be safe. You're not going to hurt it.
Yeah. Well, my last run, I still am not 100% sure if it was like nutrients. I don't know what happened with my last run that like really like hurt all my plants.
Well, you were having issues with air movement, right?
I mean, that might have been what caused the mold, but that didn't help. But I think it was before that, like all the leaves, how they were dying. I think the plant being so sickly allowed that, like, non-optimal air movement. I still had air movement, but it was kind of low, I guess. But I think it was the sickly plants allowed that to happen,
Right, like the plant wasn't at its full potential while you were hanging, and it was already like struggling and.
Yeah, they were struggling like when they had like a month to go, the leaves started like dying, not like the senescence, but like they were just like dying, and I was like having to pick them off and everything.
Right. So it wasn't the healthiest going into it, so it was already prone to having some sort of fucking problem.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, really.
I'm tracking. What caused it to be so sickly, you think?
That's what I wasn't really sure of. I had like a couple like thoughts about it. I know I wasn't watering to any kind of runoff, which I thought might have caused an issue potentially. I only kind of like I give my water a little bit of pH down, but I don't really measure it like too precisely because it's going through the soil kind of buffering system. So I kind of just get it down to like 6.5 or 7, I believe. Dump some of that TMB down in there.
Okay.
And you're using microbes and stuff, right? Are you using labs or anything like that?
No labs. I use photosynthesis plus and
Okay.
the SLF 100, which is more of a bacteria.
Those both are great products, though. So I mean, you're getting microbes there. Labs would never hurt, of course. It would help break down some of the stuff, help aid in it.
It shows you can think you're using or it shows you can use all the best products and think you know what you're doing, and then still have something come out of like nowhere and like really impact your harvest there.
It's part of the fun of growing.
That's why I
learning,
take the simple approach, man. I let the fucking worms do it all for me.
Yeah, the worms are very good at that.
I really do. Like, throw some worms in them city pickers, man. Let the worms help out. They really do help equalize. You add some worms in there and fuck that pH pen and fuck that pH down. Just put your water down the tube. Let the worms and the microbes take care of it for you. And when you do a top dressing, use some good worm castings.
Okay.
And forget about your pH. Let nature handle it. That's what I do. It's just I can't think about products and this, that, and the other thing. I'm going to let the worms do it for me. I'm going to use the best quality dry amendment top ingredients and some worm castings, and the worms are going to do it for me.
So I know that like the top covering on the city picker, it kind of seems like it doesn't seem like plastic or anything. It seems like it's more of like a
trash bag-ish
air mulch layer. You know, those like fabric mulch,
like a root barrier that you'd have out.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Mulch, you put shredded wood chips on top of it, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if that's going to be enough to like get those feeder roots, or if I should like supplement some kind of like
if you feel there's too much airflow going through it, I would just grab a garbage bag. I love the garbage bag type. I do that in my big beds too. Like when I did a big heavy top dressing and just cut down like a heavy layer of cover crop, put a black layer on top of it, and it's amazing. It's just garbage bag tech, man. It's plastic and it's just letting it do its thing without the light reaching it. That's really all you're trying to obtain. It's just the light not getting there and the moisture getting out.
Nice. I think I'm going to start that too.
Yeah, it's super easy. If you find even like if you drape it over a little bit and maybe get some twine or something just to tie it up around it.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, like the ones that come with the earth box, they're elastic garbage bag with an elastic band sewn around it. So I don't see any reason to ever buy anything other than a garbage bag and some string.
I want to shout out Flammulated Al for using a shower cap as his mulch cover on some pots recently.
Beautiful.
A shower cap?
Yeah, just make sure they're
hippopotamus or something like that.
Only in Scotland.
Nice.
That was pretty fucking good, dude. I think. I am stoned. I will reiterate. I don't want Flammulated Al getting super pissed.
No, that was totally Irish or English or one of them.
No.
He said it just like Sean Connery. He's
there. You go. Right? He's Scottish. Yeah.
Beautiful.
His best performance was of a Russian sub captain with a Scottish accent. That is a fucking wild fact about the Cold War. Was all the Scots that served in the Russian Navy.
Oh shit.
My Instagram feed, besides my giveaways, I'm also getting, did you go to Navy boot camp? You may be entitled to compensation.
Oh, there you go. Now, that's interesting, though, because when you went into the Marines, the Navy hadn't quite been invented yet. So how'd that work out?
That was a good one.
Wait, weren't the Navy first?
Yeah, I think the Navy was first.
Yeah.
But really? I thought no, because of the Marine Corps technically is older than the United States.
No.
Shouldn't you know that, Chuck?
No, that's not.
You know, they did make us learn like a whole bunch of like trivia and stuff. I cannot remember all that. That was like really like 30 years ago now. 25 years ago. 30 years ago. It's pretty crazy. I went into boot camp in 1994.
The Marine Corps were founded in November 10th, 1775.
And when was the Navy?
Well,
1775.
considering the United States wasn't around,
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
I doubt the U.S. Navy.
How can we have a Marine Corps? How can we
76,
have a United States Marine Corps if we don't have a United States?
I don't know. They met. They started in
Exactly.
some bar. Again, the
Without
one
the
person
Marines,
who
there's
didn't
no
serve
United States of
in this
America.
show, did not know that.
Right on. I'm not sure what to fucking think anymore. Goddamn, everything's a lie.
Everything's a lie.
There was
And winter is
anyhow,
coming.
Winter I think it's here. You're getting blanketed too, but so we got up to where you're growing now. Do you want to share what's in your tent now? We've shared little bits, but
Yeah. You mean like on camera or just like on
No, just tell us what you got growing. Talk about it.
So stupid. So I got that vanilla fizz. We're doing that night owl grow together in your Discord.
You got your sticker finally.
I got my sticker finally like 2 days ago. It's pretty cool. We have a lot of mail theft around here, so I thought I was just a victim, but I might have just been a victim of forgetfulness, but I'm not sure.
That would be such a shitty thing to rip off, open a sticker and be like, what in the fuck is this?
But yeah, so I love grow alongs. They're really fun, especially like I've never done one where I wasn't gonna like be growing that strain anyway within like the next grow or that grow anyway. So it's like it's always perfect timing with the Alabrije or the Night Owl, whatever. Just seems to fall into place.
Right on.
So I got that vanilla fizz. That's in the Roots Organic all the way with the air pot. And then I have that one seed from J Merch in a little 3-gallon. That's Cam number 2 times Star Fox, I believe.
Yeah, the Cabin Auto Mix number 2, which is a fancy way of saying he never remembered which was what.
Nice.
It's pollen of some things.
Nice. And then the Forgetful Wedding by Big Green Guy Genetics. That one's pretty cool. And that was I won that somehow on your show too by answering like a question or something, sending it in.
I believe we usually tell people to harass other people.
I know, God, dude, I'm getting sick of sending you shit. It's like you fucking win everything.
He's won like 4 times.
I know. It's like, all right, fucking spin it again because now we got to send Chuck and somebody else because they're not gonna fucking believe us.
I know.
Nice. I definitely don't have to buy for a while.
Every time you win, we end up having to send out double the seeds because Johnny, they were just like, we can't just keep giving it to our friend. That looks so shitty. We're just friends with this dude and like, yeah, you won again.
Stop fucking winning.
Well. Yeah. Get worse luck, dickhead.
So in the tent, I have just talking about the tent again. I have like a 200 watt LED, and then I have a 315 watt CMH. So I'm not really sure. I haven't done enough growing to really know if they're like how the plants are reacting to that, if they get like crossover spectrum or if one's doing better than the other because it's growing under one or the other. But it would be interesting.
If you ever get a wild hair up your ass and you want to ask him questions about that, Howling's your dude. I've seen that guy nerd out on some fucking light bullshit for hours, dude.
Nice.
He's good about that.
Well, you guys can just do your next episode of The Circle all about that, and that will be cool. I'll listen to it.
Yeah,
then.
we won't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I like to listen to some of the podcasts that are really scientific, but sometimes they make me feel really dumb at the same time. I have to listen to it like twice, and I still don't get what's going on.
We like to be that podcast in the back of your pocket for when you want to feel smarter in the house.
Yes.
And be like, you know what? I really want to be a
That's-
fucking smartest guy in the
Just
room.
listen to the fucking ridiculous ass intro, man. That's exactly what it's about. Like, just
Let's
if
go-
you don't,
yeah.
if you're sick of feeling fucking intimidated by growing, then come listen to these spazzes grow some fucking cannabis.
Yeah. You can always say to yourself, I can do better than Rev.
Mhm.
I think my son learned how to say fuck from Johnny and the podcast here.
I do
I-
have, dude. I fight. It's unreal. I tell everybody this. I literally have to think about not saying the F word. I have to control myself. It is just. It's like it's like an accent.
Sure.
I swear to God, it's just like an accent for me. I don't even know I'm fucking doing it half the time.
How bad was it when your kids were real young, Johnny?
I did not care. I did not care. And the funny thing is, and it wasn't until they were like 14 or 15, I ever heard them swear a word at all, let alone the F word.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. But I also have the convenience of shipping them off to their mother's house every couple of days. So it's. I don't know what she has to bear and what she's bared since they were 5 or 6 years old, but they're 16 and 15 and 16 now. So for the last 10 years, they've been pretty good kids, I think.
I was gonna say they're also
I don't know if
age.
their mom, though. I probably fucked them up when they go back to their mom's house. It's terrible.
But they're also, I was gonna say, at that age now where they're gonna say fuck every other word no matter what. You could have never sworn in front of them ever. But
Chuck,
you get to
I
that
am
teenage
sorry
point.
for your kids.
Oh man.
Don't listen to Yag with your kids in the car. This is a disclaimer for all cannabis consumers growing cannabis listening to this podcast. Don't do
Don't pull a Chuck.
Don't pull a Chuck.
That was just a bad dad moment. I had my Bluetooth off for a minute.
Oh no, trust me. My kids listen to it all. And there's like, I have my grow room is attached to the house, and sometimes I forget to turn on the exhaust fan when I'm smoking in here, so the kids also have to smell weed all the time.
All of a sudden, at least you give them fair warning that if they need to talk to dad, wait till it starts smelling a certain way, and they can be like, all right, in 20 minutes I can go ask him. He'll be a lot better.
Yep.
I will tell you, I exploited that a lot.
Can I go over to Chris's house?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I would always wait. You know, I'd be
Do
like,
I have to drive? Because I can't.
What's up with this exhaust fan you got? Is it just...
It's so I can't tilt this camera because I just duct taped it, but I have a 4-inch AC Infinity carbon filter that I have mounted to a piece of black walnut that I cut down from my tree, and I screwed a 4-inch fan on top of it, and I cut a 4-inch hole in the wall and have a vent right on the wall. So I just tell Alexa to turn on my smoking fan, and she turns it on, and it carbon filters and exhausts right out the house.
I need to get me one of those.
I think you muted.
No,
you're not. It doesn't say you are.
Still can't hear me?
No, I can't hear you. We'll pause.
I can hear you. Sorry, that's weird.
Rev can hear me.
My headphones turn off.
Johnny,
it must be me. My headphones.
Yeah, Johnny's headphones came off. I was gonna say that, dude. Your fucking smoking room is seriously one of the coolest man cave upgrades. A fucking exhaust fan with a carbon filter, like.
I know. I got a garage door opener and like a big Lasco, like 24-inch fan or something, but
that's not bad though.
System.
I have a fan in my garden. See, I live in a fucking whole community that you can't smoke in, right? Like one of the rules is like no smoking at all of anything. So it's just fucking so stupid. I can't ever even partake on my property.
At your house?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
It's very, very rough.
All right, you ready?
What word?
Johnny, does that vaporizer do the trick?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe what happened. One of the asshole kids walked by with their fucking headphones, and it connected for some reason.
Oh no! They were just hearing Charles repay the punishment of his.
Speaking of being a bad dad. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
that is some shit I didn't think you'd have to fucking worry about, dude.
That's the future.
I know. Damn.
It's weird. It happens.
Okay. Anywho, what we were talking about before?
The
Oh, you're exhaust
and
fan,
I was
dude.
saying how it just vents right out the house. And
That's so fucking cool. What an upgrade.
Well, dude, I had them laying around. It's like I had upgraded a fan from a 4-inch to a 6-inch, or I was running 2 intakes. I was running intakes, passive or active intakes on all my tents. So I had an extra fan laying around. And one day I was just like, dude, I'm a fucking carpenter. I looked online for like nice, clean, fucking flat exhaust flap. So every time it turns off, it automatically goes down. It turns just like a dryer vent on the side of your house. I got a nice one. I think it's even an AC Infinity one. You're not going to believe it. They have dryer vents for your exhaust fans. And that's all I did is it would cost like $20 and I cut a fucking hole in the wall and had it from shit I had laying around already.
That's awesome. Yep. Chuck's mind's working.
Dude, I'm just looking right here. I could cut a hole, but I'm not a carpenter.
But a hole saws are easy, man.
To cut. Yeah. You could do it. We shouldn't be giving you
through it.
I
can Johnny your garage up from here, buddy.
My buddy's got a Dremel.
That'll take a while. That would take a while.
Be there all month.
Like one of those movies where they're escaping from Alcatraz or something.
Just slowly with a spoon.
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, Shawshank. Right on. But so there's tradition around here. We ask our guests, and I'm sure you've put a lot of thought in this. We've known each other for a couple of years now. What is the first seed you ever planted, and why is it an apple seed?
I don't remember planting it, but I think it was a sunflower seed because we had a lot of sunflowers on the side of the house when I was a little kid, and I think I remember helping my mom with those.
Right on.
Pretty sure.
I think that's the first sunflower we've heard.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so it might be one of it. I'm sure we're forgetting.
How are your sunflowers, Padre?
Oh, they got
How'd they turn out? Really?
They did not. I did not get. Yeah, I was not able to harvest any sunflower seeds this summer, which is a bummer. My winter garden's fucking killer right now, though. I did
plant some fucking sunflower seeds.
Yeah, you should, dude.
I remember the sunflowers not being very impressive. They were like kind of like sad looking when they came out. I don't think like they weren't like filled with like seeds. Like they were kind of like, they kind of looked like they had mange or something like that. maybe we needed to fertilize those too. And
yup. It's amazing. I look back on every garden I've ever had since I was a kid and how terrible they always were, to the point where it's like, why do I do this, man? What am I'm not a gardener. I don't have a green thumb. Then I started growing cannabis. Yeah. And it was like, it wasn't my fault. I just didn't know. They don't tell you. They just like, oh, pour some fucking Miracle Grow. And then like, that doesn't work. And you don't know, man. They don't teach that. They're like, plant a seed and it will grow.
Exactly.
Where's the real gardening classes in fucking school? No, they want you to buy their food. That's what the problem is.
You know, what's really weird, though, is at my high school, we had an agricultural farm called Ag Farm, which is probably strange to you, Johnny, where you're like, yeah, we just had farms, too. But no, this was in the fucking
tractor
city.
day in high school.
Oh, yeah. Okay. See, where they had built
and
a
cow
farm
shit bingo. Yeah. Literally, there's a fucking fence, and they marked out plots, and they put a cow inside of this fence, and wherever it's shit, that was like the fucking, I'm not even kidding.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. Apparently it's too old school. It's not PC to let your cow shit in the school lawn.
People don't need to watch the cow shit because they have phones.
Too many liabilities with letting a 16-year-old drive a fucking tractor to school.
I can't imagine that being an issue. But I also, like I said, I've only grown up in a sprawling urban hell, so it would be very strange to see a tractor driving on a street around me. But yes, I imagine that would be chaos.
You had 6'4" Impalas, didn't you?
No, we had my buddy drove a Ford Falcon that we used to take to the beach all the time.
Fucking right on.
And it
my
was
buddy had a Trans Am.
That's fucking nice. This Falcon, I think it was a 62 or 64, but at one point it was all the way down to primer, and for some whatever reason he decided he wanted to flat black spray paint it. And so for like 3 days, a bunch of teenagers spray painted this fucking nice Falcon flat black. It looked god awful.
Oh, I'm sure.
But we thought it was cooler than shit.
Fucking right on. Chuck, what's your favorite pie, and why is it apple pie?
Oh man, you threw me. I thought it was gonna be like a question about pizza.
They're not yet. Don't
Those are for
spoil it.
later.
However, will people not know now?
Man,
But
apple
also pie. I mean, pizza pie. It's
I'm gonna have to go with apple pie with
damn right you are.
like this, like kind of like the standard crust, not that like.
No cinnamon and sugar.
Yeah, because I've had a good one of those, but I think people don't do that right anymore, and it ends up being too doughy on top.
Mm-hmm.
So just like a classic, like coffee shop, like old school apple pie with some vanilla ice cream would be amazing.
A la mode it is.
Have you ever tried it with cheddar?
No,
Okay.
Dude.
but I would. I remember Travis Bickle did that on Taxi Driver, and I was like, what the heck?
Umami, man.
I want to point out that the main character in Taxi Driver, not someone you should emulate with any aspect of your life.
Sure. That came out wrong.
Yeah, I don't. That is very funny though.
You got me.
Well, if you love apple pie that much, what's your favorite fruit, and why is it apple?
Favorite fruit? I think it's actually blueberries.
Okay.
Like
Wow.
a perfect blueberry. I could probably eat those like all day and never get sick of it. And because also in the back of my mind, like I feel like it's like supposed to be healthy or something like that. So it's
You're
like
just thinking about all the antioxidants. You're like,
I'm like,
that's
oh,
right,
yeah,
motherfucker.
I'm doing so good for myself over here eating blueberries.
Hell yeah,
Heck
it's
yeah.
a solid choice.
I used to freeze blueberries and use them as ice cubes in water.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, it's
This
so
sounds
good.
pretty good. I would I freeze them sometimes in smoothies, and then also I'll throw them in my oatmeal in the morning. It helps cool the oatmeal down a little bit faster, and it also becomes delicious.
I like it.
It's a solid
And
choice.
just a couple days ago, I dropped some frozen raspberries, and it's a terrible choice because they explode like a grenade. Like every little bit of raspberry, like they shatter.
Holy shit.
In case you have never experienced
I can
that,
picture it. That's so funny. I
Oh,
can
that
picture
is
it.
awesome.
big mess.
Righteous. All right, so we'll get to the pizza question. You walk
Yeah,
into
finally.
a pizza shop. You're just getting a slice. It's the first time at this pizza shop. Going cheese or you going pepperoni?
I have to ask: is that just like the only two slices they have at this pizza place, or
I think anything other than that disqualifies you from answering the question.
oh, okay.
You can't
That's
walk
not-
into a pizza shop and be like, you know what, I'd actually prefer
What
wings.
human being walks into a pizza shop the first time and gets pineapple on it?
You got me there. But like, if they had like a pesto, and cheese,
Hold on, let's
or like
okay,
a
let me think
pesto
about this.
pepperoni,
Let me
because I
think
would
about
get the
this.
pesto pepperoni.
Johnny, in that question that you asked, was one of the options pesto pepperoni?
I mean, pesto, all it is fucking basil and olive oil. So
It's just different sauce, right? You're not like
wait, is there
sauce.
there's pine nuts in it too, right?
Pine
Yeah,
nuts, yeah.
yeah. Well,
I think you
yeah,
can
I
make
think-
pesto with like carrot tops too, and like all different kinds of things. But
No.
you know what? One
like
thing I will say
traditional
about
pesto.
pesto though is if you ever eat too much pesto, you can get sicker than a dog, dude.
So this is like a new pizza shop, and you're going right off the bat with their pesto.
well, he's not
Yeah.
allowed to. He's got to pick one of the two
Oh,
options. It was an A or
I'll
B
just get the
question.
pepperoni. I'll just do pepperoni.
Okay. Thank you.
Obviously, if you're going with pesto, if you're walking into a shop and getting pesto, I'm sure you were going with pepperoni. Yeah.
Yeah, you knew that.
I think it tells a lot about a person. I don't know how, but I'm sure fucking Stoney can chime in on the psychiatric evaluations behind whether you get pepperoni or cheese for the first
Totally.
time. There's
There's something, I'm sure. There. I wonder what the like whatever that answer is. I wonder what that answer would be for someone who would walk into a strange place and ask for a pesto pepperoni pizza. That's got to say a lot about someone too.
So I was at like Total Wine buying some whiskey, and like the guy came up. He's like, "Oh, can I recommend a whiskey?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, "Whatever." And he's like, "Are you gonna mix it or are you gonna drink it straight?" And like, I probably do both, but I just said like, "Oh, I'll probably mix it." And then he was like, "Yeah, you look like a mixer kind of guy." And then I bought whatever whiskey he gave me, and I'm like driving home. I'm like, that motherfucker said I was like a mixing kind of guy.
Kind of guy.
It was definitely a put down of sorts.
Oh, of course, I'm sure. That's funny.
I love people in their fucking.
I don't even drink whiskey anymore.
Subtle jabs. Oh, you seem like a mixer kind of guy. Yeah, guess what? I like tequila, but I prefer it in margaritas.
I wonder what they would have. I wonder what they would have thought when I was still drinking, and I was just like, "Give me the cheapest thing you have, please." Okay. Now the pizza one was pretty standard, A or B, but this is where you can make it up to yourselves because there's unlimited options. Johnny,
I can't wait to hear your favorite sandwich.
My favorite sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think my favorite sandwich, it could be nostalgia, but I'm going to take it back because I used to get this when I was a little kid and I could never find a good one since. But it was like on Dutch Crunch, it was corned beef with like stony brown mustard. And that was my favorite sandwich.
Sauerkraut?
No, I was just a little kid, so it was like still kind of plain lettuce.
Okay.
Lettuce, onion, red onion, and tomato would have been okay.
All right. That sounds.
I've never found that since then. I'm not trying to get like two answers in here, but I'll take a turkey avocado these days.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and got
silly thing to lie about.
avocado sandwich, or not the avocado, the sourdough sandwich. Nice. But I got it with just avocado and bacon. Oh my God, man! Oh, sorry.
So you had like an avocado BLT kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, but no tomatoes, and it was on their sourdough. I was like,
oh, sourdough is my favorite bread.
Dude,
I believe
it's because you can't get bacon on a bagel. You just can't taste the bacon. There's like so much fucking bagel there, so you always have to go sausage when you go with a bagel.
Bagel is very good until you see what it fucking does to your body. Like one bagel in the morning.
Remember when we were kids, bagels were like, I don't know, the size of a baseball. Now they're the size of fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's head.
That's a funny joke too. If you,
I used to like Einstein's bagels when I lived in like Los Angeles area, but I don't know if there's any good bagel shops around here. And now that's kind of
I was gonna say I don't really do like bagels much anymore unless I
make them
I buy them from a grocery store. But see, New Yorkers are stuck up about their bagels.
You make them at home, Johnny?
No, not the bagels. My bagel sandwiches.
I just you like making like a dozen bagels in the kitchen or something.
No, I'm gonna tell you, it started when I was in Germany. The girl I was with when I was in Germany, they don't have like normal breakfast. They have like sandwiches in the morning. So she made me like this baguette with like turkey and horseradish mustard. Oh my God, man. I fell in love with those things. And I used to try and replicate them at home. And now I do it with just the same thing with turkey and horseradish mustard, as spicy as I can find it, and onion bagel.
Nice.
That's it. That's like the most beautiful fucking like breakfast snack, or like you woke up and you just need a fucking pick me up, or it's like, I got the munchies and it's fucking 2:00 in the morning. Let's go with one of them. That's fucking tits.
I like breakfast for my first meal. Even if I wake up at like 3 p.m, I still need to eat like eggs and toast or something like that first.
I love breakfast for dinner, man. That's my fucking love it. I love it. I want to get chickens just for that fucking, so I can have more breakfast for dinner.
You know that everyone's been partaking in this podcast when the end has talked into basically all of us talking about what we would like to eat. And it's not just questions.
Munchies. I hope everyone else was listening and got the munchies as well. But
I know,
I'm
Sunday. Starving. But yes, but before this,
it is Sunday.
Before this, what?
I don't know. Yeah, before this. So I said, "Oh wait." I
thought I knew what you were going. We have a bunch of people that are having drops soon that we like. I know BGG is having a drop coming up. He's doing Odin Express, which is dope, and then an Egyptian auto. I can't remember the exact date. It's either the 10th or the 14th, or it's the 14th. Daz is doing a drop as well, and then also Frostfire Seeds is doing his first drop with the seed bank that Multiverse Beans. They have on the 23rd. And he has an exclusive through them, but he gave us a ton of seeds to give away. Shout
out Frostfire, man. I did got a package from
the cherry bangerang, and I've sampled it. There was 2 fucking phenos, the cherry gas and cherry. I could taste cherry and I could taste the cherry gas. It was incredible. So check it out. Part of the reason I'm so regs. I think they're femmes. They're auto femmes.
Yeah,
nice.
He has there's an exclusive through MVB, but he's dropping in a bunch of stuff after. He's a lot of really cool stuff. But yeah, shout out to him. And then there was another one that I've just completely forgotten. So if I've forgotten anybody, I'm terribly sorry.
Hit us up in like 3 or 4 weeks when we record again.
when we get that circle that we're behind on. You know what? No, Chuck complained about us being late, so we're like, fuck it, you got to come on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Careful what you wish for. But yeah, so in honor of one of our longtime friends coming on, I guess our sermon will be pretty simple this week, man. I'm super stoked, and I'm happy with our community being as awesome and amazing as it is. So I just want to keep preaching the importance of fucking community, man. It's super cool watching everybody connect and help each other out. So don't be a dick, mind your own business, and go with Frog. Now, Chuck, do you have anything you want to plug?
No, I don't plug anything. I just grow weed, man.
And best plug ever.
Best plug ever. Johnny and I ain't got shit.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Peace.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace.